Hello, this is Colleen Morley for CMSA Chicago. Welcome to CMSA Chicago Member Spotlight, our informational video series by members about members discussing the various specialties in case management. Today's video puts the spotlight on John Heraty. John Heraty is a licensed clinical social worker, LCSW, certified case manager, CCM, and certified public accountant, CPA, and has over 20 years of experience as a clinical social worker. He has worked in diverse clinical environments such as Swedish Covenant Hospital in Chicago as an emergency room crisis counselor, North Shore Senior Center in Northfield, Illinois as a community-based social worker. His roles at North Shore Senior Center included elder abuse investigator and caseworker, geriatric care manager, social services consultant for senior centers, park districts, senior buildings, and in multidisciplinary medical case rounds. Also functioning as a psychotherapist for counseling patients and a facilitator of support groups. John has been working for CVS Aetna since 2007, providing telephonic social work case management. His specialty areas, Medicare insurance, geriatric and disability populations, telehealth consumer engagement via audio, video, and email communications, health insurance benefit plan advocacy and navigation, insurance plan benefit advocacy and navigation, and linking members to community-based resources and service organizations that are not connected with their health insurance plan. Additionally, he acts as a consultant in multidisciplinary medical case rounds to optimize the member's discharge plan. He has been forever inspired as a clinician by his first clinical supervisor at North Shore Senior Center, Paul W. And he's been inspired by the work of the late relational psychoanalytic author, Stephen A. Mitchell. He is a frequent presenter at local and national conferences and is a public policy champion, especially for the Nurse Licensure Compact, motorist rights advocates, and a mentor for at-risk youth. He active in his church and family life. Prior to working in social work, he also worked in the accounting field. John is currently president-elect of Case Management Society of America's Chicago Chapter Board of Directors and has been on the Chicago Chapter Board since August of 2017. He continually finds his involvement with CMSA to be exceptionally rewarding, in his words, and professionally enriching. He lives with his family in Palatine, Illinois, and enjoys athletic activities, striving to remain fresh and creative and maintain a healthy zeal for living a life of meaning. Welcome, John, and thank you so much for that great synopsis that you gave us.
Thank you, Colleen.
You told us a lot about you, but can you tell me a little bit about your career path and what led you to the role that you're in today? You said that you were a CPA previously, so how did you get into social work?
Well, my manager used to say that, John, if you're going to be good in accounting, you have to stay at your desk. And I just could not, my mind just goes off in a lot of different places. And I realized that I did not have a passion for accounting. I would play softball, I would run and other things in life, but I just didn't feel that. And one of the most important things you can do, and that's your career. So I decided to start volunteering, and through volunteering, I found my passion to get into nonprofits, which circled me back to the corporate world with CVS and Aetna.
Very nice. So, John, as a social worker in a managed care setting, what is your work like? What does your work day look for you? Work day look like for you?
Yeah. Thanks, Colleen. I constantly get the question or the statement, I never realized a health insurance company had social workers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice. And I think one of the things I like about it is that kind of that cliche is every day is different, but it truly is. And when people ask me, what do I do at a health insurance company, it's kind of like what I used to do at the community-based nonprofit North Shore Senior Center. I would visit patients or clients, a lot of mostly elderly, and we would do everything. It could be 100 different things. Sometimes it was an adult protective services issue. Sometimes it was financial assistance. So I pretty much kind of do the same thing at a big health insurance company. The one thing that I like even more working at CVS and Aetna is that not only can I be the clinical social worker and kind of wrap the clinical blanket over what we're going to talk about, community-based resources, being a listening ear, but also letting them know about their health insurance benefits. And I always give the disclaimer, I can't quote or confirm benefits, but I could let you know what it looks like you have, and then you can confirm it.
Okay. So what do you enjoy most about the work that you do right now? What are some of the biggest rewards that you get out of being a social worker in a managed care organization?
So I would say just there's a lot of, the thing is that you can reach, I've been doing this well before COVID, and now people are becoming more and more familiar with the life of a telehealth person.
Mhm.
But I've been pretty much doing telehealth since 2007. And the way I would compare it when I was doing community-based social work, I'd have to get in my car and drive places, and it's just that whole infrastructure just took a really long time, even though that face-to-face bonding, shaking people's hand, looking them in the eye. But the power of the phone, and if you can engage them with your voice, you know, your tone of voice,
Mhm.
getting that buy-in, showing that you can help them, it's just really enriching, because I have so many situations where I'm able to help somebody on the phone that maybe a home health care person wasn't able to do, or their primary care office or their daughter or son didn't know was an issue. So,
Mhm.
and even just kind of untangle durable medical equipment companies if they're having oxygen supply issues or CPAP issues, or it's just so many different things.
Yeah, I remember you wrote a brilliant story for one of our books that we put out over the past 2 years, talking about case management and the role of the managed care social worker, and what you were able to do in connecting with that lady. That was an incredible story. So is there one thing that surprised you about the role you're currently in when you first started?
Well, a good friend of mine used to say, John, I don't think you're going to like doing health insurance because you're more of a hands-on person. You like to meet with people. And I have to say, we're even starting to do video phone calls, but there truly is a power of connecting with people over the phone. And one of the things I'll say is that even though I can't really meet with you in person, I can get other people to meet with you in person.
Mhm.
Like there's some people that need home health care and they don't know how to get it started. The doctor writes a prescription, the nurse goes out to do the assessment. So there's people out in the community that are entitled to home health care because they've had a change of medical status. They're mostly homebound. So getting that started, the president, there's so many people that are highly intelligent and business savvy that laugh and say, I don't understand insurance. Most people don't understand insurance. I happen to, because I've been working at the company for so long, and I feel like I just feel like the cocktail of community-based and managed care, letting them know about community-based resources and letting them know oftentimes about their underutilized health insurance benefits is a little bit of a magic potion.
Excellent. So let's see. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges that you face day to day?
Um, I, I, I think one of the biggest challenges, which is one of the biggest beauties, is it's almost like doing improv where you really don't kind of know what's on the other end of the phone. And you don't, because there could be 100 different things. And one of the things I don't like is people say, oh, social work, you're so nice. You're so this. I'm like, no, this is a legitimate profession. It's not a volunteer position. Uh, so it's just very nuanced. It's very diverse. Sometimes you get people that are not happy or they're really frustrated. Sometimes they get the social workers involved because things get escalated. So I would say that one of the most challenging things is kind of not knowing what's coming next. But certainly that's what keeps me going. I really feed off the direct care work.
Excellent. So In the managed care arena, what do you think are some skills that are most important for somebody who might be interested in a job like yours?
So I think just like anything else is just having the confidence to take a chance. And I one of the things is our, like customer service people and clinical, your phone calls are being recorded. So a
Mhm.
lot of times people say, oh, I don't like to hear my voice, or I don't like to see myself on video. So I think some of the self-conscious things are a little difficult
Mhm.
at times, but you get used to it. And just like anything else is when you're kind of being, I'm not going to say watched, but when you're getting a lot of really good feedback,
Mhm.
it just helps, because when you're listening to yourself on tape, you could say, oh, I might want to do this different, or I liked how I did that. Um, so with the corporate world, the thing I personally liked about the corporate world is it's like a big, vast ocean.
Mhm.
Like if you work at a smaller organization, sometimes it's like people, there can be an opportunity to be more micromanaging and stuff like that, and it's a smaller fishbowl. I personally like the bigger fishbowl, and like these big healthcare companies, and I love working for mine. They're just kind of on the cutting edge of culture, diversity, healthcare technology. So you really feel like you're on top of the healthcare news and
Ooh,
on top of what else is important.
excellent. That is really that's got to be exciting, as that feeling of being there, right there on top of everything that's going on, and social determinants of health. I mean, we all know that as nurse case managers and social work case managers, we've known about these things forever, and now everybody else is coming on board with it. But case managers have known about it all the time. So, John, what are some big projects that you might be working on now, or that maybe you finished up in the last couple of months?
One of the projects I did, this was a few years ago, but it's like near and dear to my heart, is that I remember talking to a person who had difficulty speaking on behalf of his wife, because even one of the common misconceptions is just because you're married to somebody or you're a partner to somebody doesn't give you authority to speak on their behalf. So a lot of times organizations require a third-party authorization form to be completed. So having to work with members and seeing that frustration of them not being able to talk because they didn't get, like a nurse would say, we sent the form in the mail and they didn't get it. So, and it was very difficult for them to understand it. Myself and a few others put that third-party authorization form in plain language, and that was just a really big accomplishment. It just felt so good to see that. It took like 2 years to do it, but it was really a cool thing to see happen. And yeah, just working on kind of social service questionnaires, providing feedback. So yeah, that's the nice thing about working for a big company is you do wind up getting involved in big projects that you want to. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, John, you're president-elect of CMSA Chicago. You've been on the board since 2017. Can you tell me a little bit about how being a member of CMSA Chicago has benefited you and your career?
Right. And Colleen, this is something you and I and Eric and others have spoken about. But, you know, for me, I've been in my job for 13 years and I can't imagine doing anything else. But life changes and nobody knows from day to day. And yes, we have great continuing education through LearnDash. I don't think anybody has videos like we do. But a lot of times it's kind of jobs, jobs, jobs. And I think the networking that's involved with CMSA, you just feel comfortable that if God forbid something happened to your present situation, that you could pick up the phone or start connecting with members and feel really good about getting something you like really quick. So that has given me a lot of confidence. Just working with the board members, it's just been such good benchmarking and just seeing you all do your thing in person. Just the mentoring that goes on is
Mhm.
great. And I have to say that you have access to really interesting personalities that respond to text messages, that respond to email, respond to phone calls. So, and they're all at different levels of influence. Some are direct care, some are manager directors and vice presidents and so on. So I feel like it's executive level training or whatever type of training you want, whether it's direct level, manager training, or higher.
Excellent. I concur with you 100%. I mean, CMSA literally has changed my life as well, and for the better. So thank you so much for your time this evening, John. Any final thoughts?
No, it's a real pleasure to be with you, Colleen, and thank you for the time.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for giving us your evening today. And God, we're really looking forward to you being the first social work president of CMSA Chicago next year. Congratulations.
Thank you, Colleen.